Welcome to Cooking with LaTrey Sorelli, today hosted by my sister Gracie, my other sister Jo, and me, Bibi. Thank you for joining us today. We are going to give you first a recipe and show you how to make one of the most basic things out of many Italian foods. That's good seasoned breadcrumbs. Sure, you could just buy them from the store and that's nice, but we have our own version, which we think is fabulous. So we're going to make that today, and then after that, we're going to actually show you a couple of things what to do with them. But today we're going to do baked artichoke hearts. Okay, so let's get started. We got some great.
We've measured out 4 cups of breadcrumbs, and so we're doing the recipe that's on the website is for a single cup, and we've multiplied this times 4. So it looks like a lot, but when you use it.
Yeah, and besides, it does stay in the refrigerator for a little bit too.
Or you can freeze it or put it in the refrigerator.
Yeah, I put it in the refrigerator because you can use this
How long
for.
do you think you can keep it?
Oh, we've frozen ours since last St. Joseph's Day, and it was fine.
Which is last March. So, but I use it for a long time. I'll use it in making eggplant, in making chicken parmesan. I mean, anything that you're going to bread, you can use these bread. So it's a real foundation for a good Italian bread.
Good word for it, foundation.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
Okay, so we're
going to get started?
Yeah, great. Go ahead, Gracie.
We're adding our garlic, our fresh garlic. Gotta use all of that because it looks so good.
Yeah, you can never have too much garlic. Yuck. Okay, there we go. This is basil.
Oregano. Our black pepper. We have to have pepper. Always.
Yep. With a little salt there. That's some salt. And then we're going to add some granulated garlic.
There wasn't enough
Granulated.
garlic, you got to add some granulated.
Well, we were talking about that earlier
Granulated
today.
garlic.
We were saying that, I don't know what it is. Mom always used a lot of garlic, and we sometimes do overdo it with the garlic. But if we're all eating the same thing, it's okay if you all smell like garlic. So what? Okay,
Yes,
you're
I
kissing
guess.
each other. Okay, so
We're
we've
good.
got that, and then we're adding our.
Can I add the grated cheese?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Grated Italian cheese. And Jo, what kind do we use today?
This is the Locatelli Romano, and then you can, if you go to an Italian grocery store, most of the time they will grate it for you, which saves you some work at home.
Plus, do ask to get it freshly grated
Yes.
because the flavor is so much
Don't
better.
buy the stuff in the packages because there's usually additives to that. So this is just pure
And
cheese.
also, it's not as fresh. I mean, when you grate anything fresh, the flavor is so much better. Gracie, why don't you go ahead and
okay.
mix it up a little bit? We got to
Alrighty.
make it up, mix up real good. This is something that we use just so much of, but you want to really mix it up good because you don't want any of those hunks of garlic or anything in there.
Right.
for sure.
Okay.
Right.
All right. And then once we've got this ready, we are going to start making our baked artichoke heart. So we really wanted to show you this because this is something you use a lot. And now we are going to show you how to make these. Wait do you see how easy this is? You're going to die. It's so simple and so good. We used to make the whole fresh artichokes, and they're great, but they're more work. And once we got this recipe for these baked artichoke hearts, oh my God, we were like, this is so simple.
But if you're a purist and you prefer it in its original form, then go for it. You can use these breadcrumbs to stuff the artichoke, the fresh artichokes, and it'll be delicious.
Exactly.
Okay. I think that's enough?
Yeah, I think
Perfect.
that's good.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
perfect.
Okay,
Gracie.
first
Looks
of all,
good.
we've got our baking dish here. We're going to go ahead and
spray it with some nonstick
Yeah.
spray. It's always a good idea.
We're gonna.
We've got some
clean up
artichoke
easy.
hearts. Now we use marinated, but we do drain them. The flavor's really nice, but we do like to use the marinated ones. So Gracie's
Okay.
going to go ahead and drain them. Okay. Those look great.
I think that's enough, don't you?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so
Well,
too.
let's see
we'll
how-
see when we put them in the pan.
let's see how much
One thing I like to do I like to make sure it's a shallow layer. I don't load it up. I think one shallow layer is nice. Just it just seems like it's better that way.
Okay.
Now the first ones I made were whole hearts. These were already quartered. It doesn't matter. You can use whatever
either
you
one is
like.
fine.
See, once you get them in there, sometimes they
Oh, that looks good.
Yeah, but
Grace.
that looks great.
That's a perfect amount, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
That looks like a good
All right, now,
amount.
Bibi, you do the honors with the rest. 'cause
Okay.
This is your
well,
baby.
Great. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to use these here just because I got my little cup already set. But I'll tell you the truth. Artichoke hearts is like my favorite food of all time. I know it's crazy, but I just don't know what it is. But I just love artichokes.
You've always loved artichokes.
I've loved them since I was a little.
Since you were a little girl.
I mean, it's a goofy, crazy flavor for a kid to like. But okay, so you just sprinkle all your artichoke, your breadcrumbs across the top.
Was that about a half a cup?
Yes,
Okay,
that was
good.
like a half a
So
cup.
So it's like a half a cup for a large jar of hearts, okay?
Exactly. Okay, so we just did the breadcrumbs. I put about a half a cup. If you like more, you can use more. I mean, there's no laws. When you know what? That's the beauty of food. I'm sure you do this.
Personalize it.
Yeah,
you know,
yes.
what you and your family like.
Yeah, if you like a lot of this, if you
Mm-hmm.
don't, hey, it's your world. You do whatever you want. Take some extra virgin olive oil. We always use that kind. It's the best, and it always tastes better. And I just pour this across the top. Okay. Now, one thing is this keeps this a really moist dish. Okay, and I'm going to put a little on again. Okay, so that's where I put the olive oil. Then I take some good grated Italian cheese. All right, just going to sprinkle this across the top. All right, like this. All right,
That looks good.
and a little bit of garlic. I had a little spoon there, but it's gone. Put a little bit of garlic across the top here. You don't have to do all of it, but just a little bit. All right. Now, we just did this recently. We never did this before. We put some mozzarella on top. I'm just going to put a little bit more olive oil because one thing you don't want this is to be dry. This bubbles and it's beautiful when after it's done. You're going to see how great it looks. It's just so enticing. Okay, so and you can bake it just like this, but just recently I decided to put some fresh grated Italian cheese on top. Actually, this is reduced fat mozzarella. Remember one thing. If you ever want to use a reduced fat, it does save you calories and some fat in your diet. You don't have to, but we've noticed that the reduced fat is pretty good. Now, if you use non-fat, brutal. Don't bother. But the reduced fat is quite tasty. So this is just a reduced fat mozzarella.
Plus, you have all the extra Parmesan cheese, which has an awful lot of flavor to it.
Yes,
so you don't have to worry about it.
Okay, so this is all ready.
Oh, that looks so good.
Doesn't that look great?
Yes.
And then we're going to
Love
just
those
pop this in the
artichokes.
oven, and this is going to bake for 30 minutes. And what's nice is it just gets a little bit brown on top, and then you can take this out, and this is an absolutely delicious dish.
And you know what's really good is if the next morning, if you have any leftover, use it in your omelet.
In your omelet.
It's delicious. It's really, we've done
idea.
that at our house.
Good
It's
idea.
really good.
And I also mix it sometimes with leftover pasta. I eat it plain. I love artichoke hearts. I've thrown it on top of pizza. But it's really, really good, as you said, Joe, an omelet or on top of pasta. It's great.
Now, when
Okay?
you serve this, well, I know what you usually do, but just tell everyone what you do as far as serving it as a side dish or...
Right. This is really a side dish. This is just like a vegetable, just like people serve green beans or broccoli or cauliflower. This is a side dish, Italian side dish, artichoke hearts. Simple, easy, fabulous. I don't know what else to say. You can't make it artichokes any simpler.
You know what
than
you
this.
need to say is it's time for wine.
Oh gosh, you are so right, Joe. You are so right. Okay, Gracie.
All right.
Do the honors.
Time to pour the wine.
We just have a regular white European table wine, which we thought would go good. Because artichokes, they say, it's sometimes difficult to pair a good wine with it.
Yes.
Because
Why don't we bring those over
distinct
here,
taste.
Gracie?
Yes.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I think a red wine's too heavy for it. Now, didn't you say a champagne would be good
They
for
say
it?
champagne,
And I love
Sauvignon
champagne,
Blanc.
but that didn't, I don't know, for
didn't
some
sound
reason,
appealing.
that didn't ring true for me.
No, so
Okay.
we were trying
I
this
need
just
to pour one more.
kind of a peasant white table wine.
Yes, exactly. I like
And
the way
remember,
that
drink what you
sounds.
like.
Exactly. It is good, of course, chilled. This is best to have
Yeah.
a little
This
of
is
this
chilled.
chilled.
Yes,
So we're just going to have a little toast. Thank you again for joining
you.
us today, making our baked artichoke hearts and, of course, the seasoned breadcrumbs. And hope you tune in again next week. Thank you. Gracie?
Cheers.
Cheers
And as Mom always said,
Cooking is a labor of love.
thank you.
to Mom.
We also want to thank Columbus Vegetable Oils for being our sponsor of La Tracerelli. We welcome them and appreciate them very much. Thanks again. Perfect.
This is good. This is good wine. I like it.